Good afternoon, Bear Bull traders. This is MikeB back here with trade recap number 18 and 19 of my 20. Today I was 1 for 2. I took a 5-minute opening range breakdown, and in traditional fashion for this profit targeting set, it did not work. And then I took a moving average crossover a little bit earlier than I normally do, and that one went ahead and covered my losses and gave me some profit on the backside of it as well. So 50%, still got a positive day out of it, so I'll call it a winning day. But let's get into it. My first trade was a 5-minute opening range breakdown. Got my good sell-off at the beginning with a pullback towards VWAP. Because the 50 was there, I like to see it either reject VWAP or reject that 50. I'll take either one of those, especially when it's within 5 cents of it here. It did reject it. It kind of closed near it, but then it sold off pretty well there. And so I took an entry as it lost the moving averages. I hesitated a little bit, so I got a little bit lower entry than I should have. I probably should have taken a little bit higher. Had a pullback. This candle actually sold off right away. Came to this 21.55 level. It just could not hit and started to pop back up. Tested this 50 moving average. It was chopping up and down. I said if it's going to close at or above that, I'm just going to get out in the next candle. It's definitely not a short at that point. And that's exactly what happened. I covered stopped out right there, called it a day. I went in, was going to look for some 15-minute opening range breakdowns on my other stocks on the watch, which are over here, TLRD and KR. Neither one of them had good 15-minute setups. So next, I started looking back at BHG, and I saw that these moving averages right here were about ready to cross, and that's what I looked for on my moving average crossover setup. So I quickly switched my afternoon trade setup, which is this. I got the green arrow that I like to look for that gives me the indicator. I looked down at the 5-minute, saw that it was trading near this moving average, so I had a good 5-minute setup coming up after the 15-minute. And I also noticed here on the 15-minute I had a nice strong pullback, which let me know that it was probably going to go to the long side. And I had plenty of room up here for it to run if I wanted it. So then I went over to the 2-minute. By that time, the stock had already popped over where I like my entry. When the slope is moving up and going to cross this 50, it already crossed that, so I was waiting for a pullback. Got the pullback, and then I got in a little bit later because I went to my 5-minute. I wanted the 5-minute setup to go before an entry, not just right there, especially with this pullback that just occurred. I did get that. Took my 1R partial right there. Here, let me move my stop so you know where my stop was set to begin with. To begin with, I was down here at this 21.60 was where my stop was. Took my 1R partial, moved my stop up to break even at 21.75. My profit target originally, if you look over here on the 15-minute, was actually the previous day close. But I noticed this 50 moving average coming down and coming in, so I set it for 22.14. Set my range order, and then when it missed the range order here, I got nervous, canceled my order, took a almost 2R partial. Should have let it run to the 2R partial. Again, it lost it here, and I reset my final range order. I was hoping the last little bit that I could get to run to the profit target before it hit my 1R out, but it did not, so I covered my whole position there. As you can tell with 15, had I held all the way back to my entry point at 21.75-ish, never would have tested and would have ran to it. So not very happy with the profit taking on this, but overall glad ended the day green, so I'll call it a winning day. See you all tomorrow in the chat. Hope you have a great rest of the day.